Welcome to Obsolete Futures.
Welcome everybody to Obsolete Futures. We're going to have a fun one today. You know, last time I spoke about the Philips CDI, and a friend of mine watched the episode and reached out and said, dude, you have to show me that Hulk Hogan game.
This isn't a video game, Zach. Around here, game over has a whole other meaning.
I hate to say it, brother, but the kid's right. This may be our only chance.
It's called Thunder in Paradise, by the way. It's based on this hilariously 90s, very cheesy TV series. And it's got an interactive... you know what? We've got to play it all together at some point here on the channel, but in the future.
Hey, kid!
Hey, how you doing?
It's good to see you, man. You're looking great.
I feel good.
Anyway, so I said, sure, dude, come on over. Let's have a couple beers. He bought some beers, and we had a good night of it. We played that. It was so much fun. We also played Mad Dog McCree with the Peacemaker light gun, which was also cool. It brings back a lot of memories anyway. And, well, it turns out the dude's like a wizard at playing Street Fighter 2 on the 3DO. He'd never used a 3DO before, and we were just looking at all the different toys and gadgets I had, and so I fired up Street Fighter 2 on the 3DO, and he was kicking ass. It was super fun. But one thing that really caught his eye is on the wall in my kind of little home office thing that I've got going on in my house, I've got some Laserdiscs. Now, they kind of double as artwork, you know. It's super cool. You get these very cool sort of frames, picture frames you can hang up. People also put vinyl records in them because, you know... Well, hang on a second. Here we go. This is a... Yeah, this is a Laserdisc, also originally called a DiscoVision. Now, these things are the same size as vinyl records. So people have these, you know, if you're like a hipster in your apartment, you could put like, I don't know, what do you listen to, The Doors or something. You could like have a little album on the wall. It's kind of like art. It's like instead of hanging a picture. Well, the thing is, I've got a bunch of Laserdiscs, and I kind of rotate them just to keep it fresh, you know, because it looks cool. In fact, you know, now you can see what I'm talking about in front of you. And he was curious about them, so I whipped out a couple of my Laserdiscs, and we were looking at them. And, oh, by the way, see this little piece of paper here? This is called an Obi, and if you lose it, well, your Laserdisc loses a lot of value. I'm going to talk to you about Laserdiscs. Listen, guys, I'm going to just cut to the chase here. Laserdiscs are awesome. They're awesome for all the wrong reasons, though. It's not something I would actually really sit down and watch. I do watch them, don't get me wrong, it's super fun. But you know what? These things are almost the same quality as VHS. I know those are fighting words, but we're going to prove it because I'm going to record it directly off of a Laserdisc and directly off of a VHS later. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually test it. You can see with your own eyes which is better or if they're the same. Anyway, take a look at this thing. It's badass. I think we got ourselves a thumbnail here. What do you guys think? Looks pretty cool. Anyway, these things are huge, as you can see. Really huge. What if I can... Yeah, you can see myself in the preview screen over there. Anyway, so we were looking at my Laserdisc collection, and he really enjoyed it, and I thought this would be something cool to share with all of you guys, because I really enjoy it too. My favorite part about Laserdiscs is just how awesome they are and how collectible they are. Because... Listen, you can sit and watch these things. It's fun. But the most important thing is the packaging. All the cool stuff that comes along with these collector's editions of Laserdiscs. It's freaking cool. So you know what? We're going to transition over to my little home office, and we'll continue there.
Okay, let's sit.
Thought.
Don't want to see it.
Coming on in 20 minutes.
Can't wait around to see it.
Video. It's the only way to get what you want to watch when you want to watch it. Action, adventure, horror, comedy, drama, suspense, romance. Great entertainment. Always a great value.
Video, it's what you want to watch.
Welcome everybody to my excellent studio. Let me show you around. First, let's go here. Take a look. Isn't this awesome? I got reflections on the desk and everything. So convincing. But this place is huge. Take a look over here. Wow, I got this whole, like, I don't know, what is that? Like, waterfront view and everything. This is ridiculous. I'll explain in a minute. Hang on. There we go. Okay, so this is the virtual studio built into the TriCaster TC350 that I have there. It's standard definition. I think this is the first time they tried this technology back in the day. Maybe one model before this, I don't know. But it's fun. It's quirky. There's lots of different studios. Let me show you. There's like stuff like, I don't know, sci-tech. Look at that. It's all sci-fi. It's excellent. Isn't that cool? Or I'll just choose one more before we continue. Something like, I don't know, this. I can like sit in the middle of this ridiculous studio. This doesn't work, of course, because I'm not at the right scale. If I wanted this to be proper, I would have changed the camera zoom and all that. But I just wanted to show you that it's a possibility. So let's go back to what I had it on, which was this prime time one. That's kind of the best for now. Okay, so I went and I recorded everything. It's there. You can see it behind me in this like pseudo screen. Audio didn't work, and it's because this old TriCaster refuses to accept my audio files that I recorded. They're too high bitrate, and then even if I compressed them, it was doing weird and wonky things. So I was like, you know what, let's test out this live studio thing, and I can just narrate it. Why not? So, without further ado, let's go to my home office, and we'll take a look at what I was talking about. Freaking balloons again. Anyway, this is my modest collection. Don't worry, this is not going to be a show and tell. I just wanted to show you a couple of examples as to why these Laserdiscs are so freaking cool. So I thought I'd start out by showing you the perfect blue Laserdisc. The one that you saw was in that frame earlier. I showed you how, taking it in and out. Well, there it is on the floor of my home office. And, well, I'm supposed to appear in the frame any second now to kind of flip it over. I don't. There I come. All right, it's kind of weird. It's a double inception type thing going on here. Let's switch over. Okay. So you can see, just like you would expect on the back, it's got some screenshots of the movie itself. It's pretty cool. And, of course, the front you saw earlier. And, well, that's that. But I need to show you, what on earth am I doing here? My floor, apparently. No, there. I'm going to show you the box that it actually came in. So the box that it came in, it's like a collector's edition, and I bought it from Japan. You might be wondering why a lot of Laserdiscs are from Japan, and it's quite simple. It just was incredibly popular in Japan, much more popular than it was in the West. That's not to say that we didn't get them in the West. In fact, hang on. I have, Indiana... how on earth? Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade over here, which you can see if I open it up. It's kind of nice. It's got a bunch of artwork. But you know what? I'll be honest with you. The Japanese releases tend to have more cool things inside of them, as you'll see shortly. While I'm doing all that junk in the background, I wanted to explain to you why maybe you see a lot of Japanese animation type stuff in the background of my videos. I mean, for instance, here, this patch over here, Megazone 2-3, on my biker's jacket. And yes, I'm wearing a biker's jacket and not riding a bike. I understand that. But you know what? I do have a bike. I have several bikes, and I do ride bikes. And I've ridden motorcycles across the whole of China and various places, so I've earned it, okay? Anyway, that aside, I actually started the very first Japanese pop culture magazine in South Africa with a Taiwanese friend and an Indian friend when I was growing up. So in my late teens, when I say a really late teens, sort of 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, thereabouts, 23, all the way up until I left South Africa, we started and ran a very successful magazine. And it was all about Japanese animation, Japanese music, Japanese movies, that type of thing. Because, we didn't have that sort of thing in South Africa. And I used to host events screening movies that came in from Japan that would get sent to us. And Japanese animation, anime, which is why you see so much of it, because it's a big part of my history. So if you were curious about that. By the way, never really thought I would enjoy a movie like Perfect Blue. If you're into thrillers and psychological thrillers, it's the thing for you. If you're not, stay away from it. It's kind of disturbing. It's all gory, all that kind of stuff. But you know what? I really have to get rid of those things. let's look at what's in the box. So the first thing you'll see in the box is that we have a movie poster. Now, I mean, this is cool. This is not just like a little tiny poster. This is a full-sized movie poster, the kind of thing you can put on your wall, which is awesome. If you're a collector and you're buying a Laserdisc of a movie or a TV series you like, to find stuff like this in the box is always a real treat. And it's not junk quality. It's top-notch. It's the kind of thing you'd pay good money for, usually. And we have, what's this? A second movie poster. Curious, you guys please leave a comment down below which is your favorite, because, well, there are actually 3 movie posters. This is the number 2. We saw number 1. And that's really cool. Let's see what's coming up next. Okay. I think, yeah, the 3rd movie poster's down there. We'll see it in a minute. This is kind of like the staff and cast thing, which gives you a lot of information. It's all in Japanese, unfortunately. But these days, that's not a big deal. You can just use your phone to translate that type of thing. I can read some Japanese. I'm not great at reading Japanese. A long time ago, I studied and I could speak conversational Japanese, and I can read hiragana and katakana. So, you know, like the headings there, I can read and so on, but I could never read a page full of text like that. Strangely enough, I can read Chinese. Okay, so let's see what else is inside of this box. So you guys know it's another poster, obviously, but there's more, don't worry. It's not just posters, but still, I mean, 3 movie posters is pretty cool. So again, I'm curious as to which was your favorite, the 1st, the 2nd, or the 3rd. Me personally, I'm a little torn between the 1st and the 2nd, to be honest. Anyway, that aside, let's see what else is inside the box here. We have, well, this is a very nice little art book type thing. So what you'll find inside of here are character designs, stills from the movie showing you different scenes, which is kind of cool. A whole write-up on how they connected all the characters together, how all the characters are connected, how things were set up. It's pretty cool. Like, you know, if you're really into this movie, for instance, and oh yeah, take a look at this. This is super cool. There's like a hole in there. And if you know the movie, if you've watched the movie, the guy looking through the hole is a stalker, and it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's just a cool little gimmick they did there. I like that. That's pretty sweet. What else have we got in here? Yeah, just I can't read it now from here. It's impossible on this low-res 480p, but we've got obviously character designs here and more write-ups about the, I guess, the process of making the characters, that kind of thing. I just absolutely love having all these feelies, you know, these things that you can look at and dig through and read, and it's nice to have a collection. I mean, there you've got all the characters and their height, kind of all in a lineup over there. And so that's Perfect Blue on Laserdisc. I mean, it's super cool. And you can see the kind of thing that you can get inside of a Laserdisc collector, and it's just really the size. You know, when you buy a DVD or you buy a little DVD box set or something, it's tiny, right? So you can't fit a full-sized movie poster in there. You can have a little art book maybe, or some lame little fold-out thing, but it can never be this size and this quality, and that's one of the reasons why these things are so awesome. So let's move on from the Perfect Blue, and let's look at a Western collector's edition box set, because of course there are tons that were released in America and other Western countries. But I'm trying to like put it in nicely. There we go. Boom. There we go. Star Wars Trilogy on Laserdisc. That's about as Western as you get, really. But unfortunately, and I hate to disappoint everyone, it kind of sucks. And it sucks for a couple of reasons. Number one, it is the version that has those horrible CG add-ons that George Lucas did. Remember when he decided that it was a good idea to ruin a classic by inserting dancing computer graphic, I don't even know, gremlins and stuff like that? Kind of lame, to be honest. I do actually have, you know, I do actually have the original Star Wars, each individual one on Laserdisc. But this was really cheap, so I just picked it up. Apparently they made a lot of these, so you can pick them up really cheap. It only has this insert, however, which is very disappointing. I mean, after that Perfect Blue box set, you would expect that in here you would have all kinds of interesting things, but no. All you have are the Laserdiscs, which, as you can see, I'm struggling to get out over here. And I was going to cut that out, but whatever. So, you get the idea. The Star Wars is a bit of a letdown, but that doesn't mean that all the Western Laserdisc collection collector's editions are bad. I've got a good one. And boom, there we go. Seriously. Pocahontas. Yes, you know, the Disney classic, Pocahontas, which, not one of my favorites, to be honest. Maybe I was just too old when it came out. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not all that interested in the subject matter. Either way, this is Pocahontas, and as you can see, it's got very nice, colorful sleeves for each one of the Laserdiscs, and it has this fantastic, again, me struggling to get these things out. I mean, by the way, this is huge. This won't fit on my shelf. It's bigger than most Laserdisc boxes. It has this like fantastic art book which comes along with it. This is not the art book. This is like a chapter guide, because Laserdisc has chapters. It's not the same as DVD. You don't have a menu and all that kind of stuff, but you do have chapters, so you can like skip to different parts. This is the art book, I believe, that I was talking about. And of course, it's all slightly off camera because my camera decided to creep downwards on the tripod, and you can see my little synthesizer there and not see what I'm trying to show you, which is this art book. But hopefully you guys can get the idea. Apologies for that. You know, this is not a very professional show, at least not at this point. Maybe we can make it more pro. I think you kind of get the idea here, but it's really pretty. It's very nice. It's well put together. You've got all these concept drawings, you know. It looks really, really nice, and of course I really wish I had framed this properly. I apologize for that. It's kind of lame. I'm pretty sure I fixed it for the next lot anyway. Inside here is kind of interesting. They have, and I'm not sure what this is because it kind of had this parchment paper, as you can see. That's not normal paper. It's the art of Pocahontas, and it had this parchment, and then it had kind of drawings, part of how they animate it or how they draw each frame, that type of thing. And it has various different layers, and it shows you the end result on a very nice card, which is very good quality, as you can see. Well, you can see half of it anyway. Apologies again. Yeah, so that's kind of that one. So you can see you do get good collector's edition ones in the West. Disney specifically seems to have quite a lot of good ones. Let me get back to here. It's a lovely little walking animation. So yes, let's move on again to a Japanese one. Now, I do promise you I have a lot of normal movies. In fact, I'm probably going to run back into the house in a minute and just film. I'll throw a bunch of them on the ground and get some B-roll so you guys can see that I'm not just a collector of cartoons. Not that that's a problem. It might seem a little weird that I'm only showing you cartoons. So let's move on. Again, we're going to take a look at a Japanese box set over here. This happens to be Tenchi Muyo in Love 2, which again is another anime movie from a very well-known series. You might recognize it, you might not, I don't know. All depends on if you're interested in this stuff or not. But this is a prime example of what I'm talking about when it comes to collectibles. So let's see if I can get that out. We have the Laserdiscs themselves, again, in this nice sleeve, which could go up on the wall as art. Again, such a cool thing to do with Laserdiscs is use them as wall art. And then we have this kind of, I don't know, painting of one of the characters in the movie, pivotal to the movie, which is cool. And we have a bunch of, well, very useless brochures. But this I found was very, very cool. They actually give you a couple of stills, well, a strip of film, and I'm not sure if this is part of the original film. Probably not. It's a print, obviously, but you know, it's obviously random. But in there, I got a bit of Super 35mm film, and that's Tenchi's father in there, which is cool. So it's like giving you a little memento from the film itself. I don't know the authenticity of that, but it's cool to have that. It's really sweet. you know. Again, makes it worthwhile collecting these things. It feels like you have a part of the movie there with you. And then a mini CD. We're going to try and see what this is all about. I'm going to put it into the Laserdisc player up there. Let's take a look. Now what's cool about this particular Laserdisc player is that it's actually a DVD and Laserdisc player. And you can open up here for DVDs or CDs, and this for Laserdiscs. So let's first do the DVD CD thing. See how that just pops out? It's kind of cool. And then, does it even take these mini things? Yeah, it does. Now I'm probably going to get hit with some kind of copyright, so I'm probably not going to play it very long. If you're curious about what it's showing on the screen, there's nothing. It just says compact disc in text, nothing fancy. So I'm going to go play. Let's see what happens.
天地無用 In Love 2遥かなる思いビデオ発売記念秘密の天地無用リバイバル
Yeah, Tenchime Revival, as it said. You would think it's a music CD, but it's not. It's kind of like a special radio broadcast by the characters in the movie. It's pretty cool, actually.
新宿区のペンネーム何でも欲しがるまりちゃんからいただきましたいやー素晴らしいですねこれやってましたねやってましたね
That's very interesting. So they've got basically all the voice actresses doing a bit. Anyway, let's see, is there more than one track? No, just one track. Okay, so over here we have another one of those sort of very nice art books. It's got the artwork, it's got information about the different characters and the relationships between the different characters in the movie, which is cool. And I don't know why I like this stuff so much, but it just adds so much more to the experience. It even has a manga, which is a comic inside. And this is about where they scouted locations, what they based the locations on. It's got photos of real life places and then, you know, the places they drew inside of the film itself. And then, of course, you've got another little poster type thing in there, and that's just basically advertising for other Tenchi Muyo universe stuff. This, by the way, is a massive franchise. Yeah, it's insane. If you haven't heard of it, well, it's big. Trust me on this one. This is also another Tenchi Muyo movie. I think it's the third one. I can't remember the name. The Daughter of Tenchi or something. And this, again, you can see it's got a similar idea. This is the Laserdisc, which you could stick on your wall, or that's what you watch. And then it's got kind of an interesting thing over here, kind of a Christmas-themed poster. And then inside of it, it has... all the character designs, the characters from the movie. Next, you actually get a massive sticker. This is a sticker, which you could peel off there and stick it on the floor, I guess, which I wouldn't do because it's still intact after all these years. You know, I believe this box set's from 1997. Because you get a 1998 calendar, as you can see here, and a 1997 calendar, so I'm guessing it was released in 97. I mean, it makes sense, right? Maybe even 96. Now, the cool thing is, and most people would hate this, but this calendar that I have, the 1998 calendar that I have, has actually been used. So somebody's like torn the pages off and left little notes in the margins. And I was reading what they were saying, and I guess whoever had this was just making notes of their favorite programs on TV or something, because one of them says Toppurana, which means top runner. It's probably better if I'm talking to you at the time. But yeah, they had all these like notes like Toppurana and ISDN installation and something about Japanese TV written there. So I think they were writing down like their schedule of things that they want to watch or things they were going to participate in. I don't know. But the whole point of this thing is to show you just how cool it is to collect Laserdiscs. Because it's not about watching them. And of course you can watch them. So the next thing we're going to take a look at is I'm actually going to fire one of these things up. So let's see what happens when you press the Laserdisc button. Well, it takes a little bit of time. And boom. Look at the size of that tray. It's ridiculous. It's a great novelty. I absolutely love it. But yes, let's actually see what this looks like. Now take a look, it's kind of interesting. You can see all those artifacts on the screen. Well, that's because Laserdisc is analog. It's not digital. I know it looks like a CD, it looks like a DVD, but it's not ones and zeros. And that's what gives it character. It's actually very similar to a VHS. You'll see the little imperfections. If there's a little bit of dirt or something on the disc, you'll actually see it pop up there. Kind of like if you're playing a vinyl record and you get those little crackles, which gives it so much character. That's what makes analog cool. That's what makes it so nostalgic to me. Is same as watching a VHS. When you pop in a VHS or a Laserdisc, it just looks so cool and it gives you that warm sort of organic feeling, something that you don't really get from digital. Later discs, the ones near the end of the life cycle of Laserdisc, they do have digital audio, which is really cool, so you can get Dolby Digital but still have an analog picture. One very neat feature of Laserdisc is that you can actually freeze frame it, and it does freeze frame. It's not like VHS when you pause it and it's all jumping up and down and weird. You can actually go through it frame by frame, which is awesome. I mean, if there's a specific scene that you really want to look at in a movie, slow it down, freeze it on, you know what I mean. Let's move on. So why is it that I'm throwing science out of the window and actually recording a CRT and playing this rather than recording it directly? Well, I wanted to show you, and it's kind of hard to capture, but this is the best way I could do it, is I wanted to show you that if you're watching a Laserdisc on a CRT, this is a very good CRT, by the way. This is a Sony Professional Video Monitor, a PVM. If you watch a Laserdisc on a CRT and you watch a VHS on the same CRT, it is almost impossible to tell the difference in quality. Of course, Laserdisc does have an advantage, and that is that it doesn't degrade as easily, because with tapes they get worn out, you know, they stretch, they get dirty. If people keep pausing it on the same place, you know, it starts to wear out, that type of thing. And Laserdisc, well, as long as you keep it clean, it's not going to degrade. This movie, by the way, fantastic. I absolutely loved this when I was a kid. It's Flight of the Navigator, and it's an adventure movie that involves aliens and time travel, and it's a really cool family adventure. I'm pretty sure most of you have seen it. If you haven't, though, check it out. It's super cool. Now you've seen what Laserdisc looks like on this CRT, and you can see it's pretty good, and it holds up. You can sit down and watch a movie and you don't feel like you're missing out. But let's take a look at VHS. What does VHS look like? As you can see, the quality is very good. Like, it's almost impossible to tell the difference between Laserdisc and VHS. So I wouldn't say collect Laserdisc because it's better quality than VHS. I would say collect it because of all the cool things you get with it. You know, in today's day and age where you can stream everything is on demand. You can literally go watch this movie right now. You'll find it on one of those Hulu, Netflix, plus, minus, whatever's out there. You can watch anything. But to be able to actually have a physical VHS tape or a Laserdisc and put it into a machine, it's an event. You sit down, you enjoy it, it's uninterrupted. You don't really have a huge selection. I love this idea. It feels so much more valuable to me. When I sit down and watch a movie on one of these formats, I actually enjoy it and I soak it in rather than sit there and play on my phone and have it on in the background. It's just a different experience. It's more visceral, if you know what I mean. And there you have it for Laserdiscs. Again, can we see myself in the monitor over there? There I am. Again, this is totally in line with Obsolete Futures. This is a future that never really happened. It took off in Japan, didn't really take off here in the States or anywhere else, really. So you get tons of great Laserdisc collections and Laserdiscs from Japan. Not so many from around here, but you know what? Again, it's just too expensive. A little bit ahead of its time, but it's really cool that finally we did get that shiny disc in our living room, the DVD, which, by the way, is still a fantastic format to collect if you're still into analog stuff, because if you've got an old CRT TV, DVDs look incredible on them. But yeah, that's it. Enough nostalgia, enough waffling on about this stuff. Can't wait to see you in the next one. We'll be doing some digital archaeology again. I found something very cool I want to share with all of you guys, and this time it's got to do with audio. So anyway, until next time, you know the drill as always, guys. Stay awesome.
Don't let the
the pressure get to you, kid. I hate quitters.